Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brendan again, BBSM, Cycle 3, Week 5, Bench Press Day. So for this, you guys know I've been really trying to work on my arch. I'm going to include a screenshot of what Dan Green had to say in regards to this because this is something that I've voiced my concern to. So looking at what he said, as well as talking with Brandon Lilly about this, I'm not really overly concerned with my arch. Now, you saw my first working set of 245 for 3 reps before moving on to the heavy work for the day in this competition style paused bench. So the way that the program worked for this day was 270 for anywhere between 2 to 4 sets of 4 to 5 reps for each set. Now, I've mentioned this in the past, but bench press is something I'm really trying to work on. So whenever I get these parts in the template where it gives me the option to do more or less reps and sets, I always try to go for as much volume as possible. So for this day, my goal was to get 4 sets of 270 for 5 reps each, and I can gladly say that I did do that. And that's one of the things that I really like about this program. The fact that, number one, it's kind of taking me outside my normal comfort zone in how I would typically set up my own programming, but as well, it's programmed to the point where I should be able to hit everything that's written down for me. So I know going into it that I can get these numbers. It's just a matter of going out and actually executing. And this is something that's really been helpful to me only because I've struggled in the past with the mental aspect of lifting. Even though I know in some cases I should be able to get a weight, my mind has the tendency to play tricks on me and really gets me doubting myself in some circumstances, which then negatively affects me on the lifts, especially when I'm going for max weight. So this program has been great about it just because it's been a nice slow progression to these points, but I've been able to get all these numbers for all these reps and I'm really enjoying it so far. So you're watching me finish up here my 4th and final set on the competition style bench press. And now the way that this typically works for these bench days, at least the way it's worked for all these cycles so far, is competition style paused benching, then onto speed work, then onto wide grip paused benching. And I really like the volume on here. So from here we moved on to 6 sets of 4 reps each at 245 done for speed. And I'm trying to go as fast as possible on these, but at the same time, I'm trying to make sure that I don't actually bounce the bar off my chest. Only filmed the first one here just because there's no real difference between them, as well as only the first set of the wide gripped paused bench press. And again, I know I say this every video, but I really like how this feels. I feel really strong in it, and one of these days, I need to just experiment with this kind of grip and see how heavy I can go, because honestly, even though this is like my 10th set of bench at this point, I feel really strong in this position, so it's something I might play around with in the future. Now from there, we moved on to incline dumbbell bench press. So again, there is some dumbbell work in here. It called for 4 sets of 12, and for this, I went with 90 pounds. Even though I did this last week, it was a little bit tough last week, and it was a little bit tough this week, but my goal here is just to get some reps in, and that's exactly what I did. So I got all 4 sets for 12 reps each at 90 pounds, although again, you are only seeing the first set here. We then moved on to this incline dumbbell row, chest supported. In this case, I did bump the weight up, so we did 4 sets of 12 reps at 70 pounds. Again, this felt really good. And look at that badonkadonk rump roast all up in your face in the weird patterned shorts. Lovely way to end the video. As always, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and in the meantime, stay big.